In today's episode of Behind the Vlog, we're with Erik from Cycling with Gasoline, and well, take a guess where we are. We're in Los Angeles, California. Let's meet him. All right, guys, here we are in Los Angeles. This is amazing. We're here with Erik from Cycling with Gasoline. Erik, so where are we going today?
We're going to Pro Italia. We're going to look at the new 2025 Panigale and the controversial double-sided swing arm, and we're going to compare it to this slightly older model with the single-sided swing arm.
Oh, very good. All right, so he is going to shoot some of this on his GoPro. Then I'm going to get some shots of him, and he's going to be shooting his vlog. We're going to go behind the scenes of his vlog. That's what this is for. So anyway, let's get going. Here we go. Let's do it. All right, we're getting onto 101 right here. We got Erik in front of me. We're going up to Pro Italia. You probably might not have been able to hear him with the helmet on, but that's where we're going to take a look at that 2025 Ducati. Hopefully he doesn't lose me.
Sbagliare un calcio di rigore, suonare prima di col play, forse sì, forse no, almeno tu hai sempre ragione. Quante domande ti farei, dimmi di sì, dimmi di no. Ho un tatuaggio da rifare perché non mi piace più, a volte ho l'ansia che mi sale, la cosa che mi fa incazzare quando non mi parli più e il mondo sembra tutto uguale, io mi fido più di te che di me, che dei miei, dei DJ. Presto che non resisto, Italodisco, scusa se insisto, questa notte è quello che preferisco, è un chiodo fisso, un imprevisto per far l'amore. Questa non è Ibiza, festival bar con la cassa dritta, ti sto cercando ma è nebbia fitta, ti giuro se ti penso la mia testa suona Italodisco. Io sto distratto e tu sei seria, ognuno tra i pensieri suoi, forse sì, forse no, mi parte il basso dei Righeira, se vado incontro agli occhi tuoi, la cosa che mi fa incazzare è quando non rispondi più e a volte ho l'ansia che mi sale, io mi fido più di te che di me, che dei miei, dei DJ. Presto che non resisto, Italodisco, scusa se insisto, questa notte è quello che preferisco, è un chiodo fisso, un imprevisto per far l'amore. Questa non è Ibiza, festival bar con la cassa dritta, ti sto cercando ma è nebbia fitta, ti giuro se ti penso la mia testa suona Italodisco.
All right, guys, here we are in Glendale at Pro Italia, where they sell Ducatis. We're here with Erik from Cycling with Gasoline. He outran me, of course. He cut through traffic in LA. You know how it is. Man, it sucked, dude. Anyway, let's take a look at this bike real quick. Here it is. And we're gonna go take a look at that 2025. But first of all, Erik, tell us about your channel. What is it about?
Cycling with Gasoline, it's everything two wheels that has an engine. It's all fair game. You will never see an electric bike on my channel.
Okay, when did you start it?
The motivation was, I started about a year and a half ago. I had an old Royal Enfield Bullet 500 of 2006. It was a basket case, and I rebuilt it. That was kind of the motivation to start the channel. I also had a newer classic 500 Royal Enfield, so I reviewed that. That was my first video, and it has over 50,000
Yeah,
views on it.
I took a look at it. 58,000. We're gonna put it right here. So let's talk about that video real quick.
Look at that mirror. Look at this bike. It's straight out of the 1950s. It's a minor street bike though, with a Kickstarter. Looks like a Volkswagen Beetle on 2 wheels. I'll say this, you're not going to find anything with more character. Hey guys, welcome to my new channel, Cycling with Gasoline. I basically like anything on 2 wheels with a gas engine. Although I will be reviewing a Slingshot soon and even a Can Am. Not really my thing, but who knows? Maybe I'll like them after I ride them. For the most part, you'll just see motorcycles here. Anything from Kawasaki's H2 to vintage Nortons and Triumphs to dual sports and cruisers and sport bikes. And then kind of weird and funky ones like this one, my 2018 Royal Enfield Classic 500. So one of the coolest things is this. A Kickstarter on a modern street bike.
That 58,000, that first
it was,
one.
I kind of knew that would go a little viral. It's just a very popular bike. It's very hard to get.
Yeah.
It was one of those things when it was new, no one would buy it, and then when they discontinued it, now everyone wants it. Because it's such a classic, old school bike, it still has a Kickstarter. I mean, it's that,
nice.
that old school, and it was a fun bike to review, and then it was just a good way to kind of go into the older Royal Enfield and start that rebuild.
Yeah, you set that bar kind of high, don't you think? That first view?
Yeah,
that
it's only,
first vlog?
it's only been downhill ever since.
No, it's good stuff. And I'm hoping people definitely subscribe when they see this. So guys, go check out his channel. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go inside.
We're gonna go inside. This is one of the only dealerships in all of Southern California that has the new 2025 Panigale V4. We're going to take a look at what's changed, what's controversial, and how that differs. You know, it's similar enough to my bike, so how it differs from the older design. They actually have a 24 and a 25 next to each other, so it's going to be a perfect comparison.
Oh, nice. And guys, we're going to get off this road. It's really loud. Hopefully you can hear this, but we're going to go inside. We're going to take a look at some of these bikes. Let's go.
My first encounter with anybody that actually seen it, and he said it looked a lot better in person.
It does.
And he liked the swing arm.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's a lot cooler to ride.
Is it?
In traffic.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I heard the heat dissipates better. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, I asked him how he liked the fairing, the front fairing, because it looks a little...
It looks like an Audi, kind of.
A little, there's a reason for that.
Right.
Yeah, so, but he's warmed up to it. So
I like it. I like it. The second I saw it, I liked it.
This weekend is our presentation day for it.
Okay.
So we'll get a lot of feedback.
A lot of feedback,
on Saturday.
right.
So I'm just curious to see what people think.
Right. I mean, look at them on. I kind of like how it got sort of the dual wings on it, where you got the single on the.
I know, I like that.
They're separated.
Well, I like Street Fighters.
I like Street Fighters, yeah.
Yeah.
And just to get it on this camera, what's your name again?
Rick.
Rick. I'm Matt. Nice to
Matt.
meet you. Yeah. So what bike are we talking about again?
We're talking about the 25 Panigale.
Okay. All right.
V4.
That's the one that we've come here to look at.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let's
awesome.
go outside.
Yeah. Very
come
good.
on and take a look.
All right.
Last time I was here, there was a lot more. I'm surprised at how much I like it.
They've widened up the...
It's wider and it's got less seams on it. It's a little bit more seamless. And I'd be fine with either one. But if I was going to get one, I think this is the one I'd get. I mean, it's definitely got the European, Japanese influence going.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, there's no... I see a little Honda. But
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to that.
Right. You're used to like the Sharkos.
Yeah. And I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I remember when that first came out. Because the original V4 didn't have that, and then it sort of came in. I dig it, man. It's just clean. I don't know. It's cleaner. I thought it was going to be a little bit more angly and
I haven't heard it yet. He wrote this morning.
Yeah, he told me that it's quieter. It lost a little soul compared to the V4.
I know, and I don't like to go too far. I like that. So
yeah.
So this is what you guys are talking about. This new.
No. That's the this right here is they call it it's not really integrated, but it's
Like dive planes or something.
What these wings do is it creates downforce. So when you're going really fast, it keeps the front wheel down.
Oh, I got you.
So you got the one. I've got 4 on my Street Fighter. The
Right.
Panigale, so this is the older one. And they call this integrated because it just sort of integrates into the design and it's color coordinated, but it's still a separate piece. And then you can see, you know, some of them are carbon fiber. You know, you can really go a little crazy.
So this is the bike we're talking about
This
today,
is the
right?
bike we're talking about. And I'll
Nice.
show you what's controversial on this.
Okay.
Are you gonna be able to sneak in there? Is there enough room? I can pull it out.
Oh yeah. So what? You're gonna bring out your camera right now? And...
Yeah, I'm gonna bring on my camera. If you look
Okay.
at that rear tire, see how there's nothing on that end? That's called a single-sided swing arm.
Okay.
It's only attached on the left side. Where on the new one, it's a double-sided swing arm, so it's got an attachment on both sides, and that's what's controversial.
Gotcha. Teaching me a lot about bikes.
Yep.
Who knows? Who'd be selling me a bike? Huh?
Yeah, you gotta get yourself a V2.
No problem.
And for the 5 people that watch it, so this will be listening for you.
There you go.
I'm kidding, we'll get at least 10 views.
Okay.
At least 10 views, come on.
Over this bike, I have a feeling it will. Yeah. All right, Eric, show us what you shoot on, and
All right, I'm very high-tech, just like
all right,
Matt, with
high tech
his,
is good.
With his expensive Canon and something that follows us around. No, I just use an iPhone
Okay.
and a wireless mic.
Oh, gotcha.
But you know, these phones are so good today, you would
Yeah, they
never know I
are.
wasn't shooting on a better camera.
And what do you edit on as well? Do you edit on your phone, or do you?
No, I use iMovie just like you.
Oh,
I
okay.
still use iMovie.
Okay.
Keep it simple and you get good results.
I'm telling you, simple is just the
It
best
is.
way to go.
It is.
I mean, unless you hire an editor someday.
Exactly.
But yeah. So what's your plan on?
All right, I'm just gonna sort of shoot. Because I've been talking about how they moved from a single back to a double-sided swing arm. I'm just gonna talk about it, and that's this part right here on the scene.
All right. And now, are you going to keep that mic dangling like that? Only because when we were in that
Yeah,
garage,
the
it was clanking.
As long as I'm not like getting off the bike and moving, it should be okay. But there's no if I have it too close to my mouth and it's like too loud.
You can't clip it to your shirt.
Oh, I'll give it a try.
You're like, no, I don't want to. How was the ride over here, by the way?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through that traffic, and then once I hit the 2, it was.
Yeah, smooth sailing all the way. Lucky bastard.
And I was able to go on the HOV lane too. Bikes can go on the HOV lane.
Yeah, that's right.
I think.
Yeah. Do you know, I took my Vespa on the highway one day. I really wanted to do it because I knew that it was a Friday and I was in downtown Hollywood and I wanted to see what it was like. Top speed on that is 41 miles an hour.
That can't go on
and
highway.
I knew being a Friday that it was just completely backed up. I was like, I just want to see what it's like.
Right,
so
if you're
I was
traffic.
able to squeeze in between all the cars that were basically parked on the
Nice,
highway. I
nice.
just wanted to say I did it, but it was fun. But that's not my story time. I've got a different story time. We're going to do a story time a little later. But all right, so where do you want me for this shot? I want to be out of your way.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right here.
Okay.
Thanks for humoring us, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so this is the new 2025 Panigale V4. I'm at Pro Italia, and they seem to be one of the only ones in all of Southern California to have this on the floor right now. And what I want to show you is the kind of the controversial change is this. That's the new double-sided swing arm, and I'll show you that it's right next to a 24, so I'll be able to show you the difference. So it's on both sides now, holding the rear wheel, so if you swing around, there it is again. So if you look at the last year's model, this is the 24 V4S. It's got a single-sided swing arm, so you can see there's nothing on this side. And it just makes maintenance, it makes removing the wheel easier, it makes adjusting the chain easier, and then you come around, and then that's the one side where it attaches. So that's the controversial change. So again, there's a single-sided, and then you move to the new double-sided. That's it for that.
Nice. You're going to break down the bike itself and maybe how it compares to
Yeah, let's do that.
yours? All right.
I think what I'm going to say.
And then let me get on this side for lighting. And then the price.
Well, this is the V4S. What is the What is a V4? Not the S, just the V4. Do they make this in the V4?
Yeah, they do.
What does that start at? Like 22? 23?
It's about almost an $8,000 difference.
Yeah.
$7,900 difference
Is it
between.
really?
It was $6,000 before. Now it's
I gotta tell you what, I adjusted mine. I got the, it's fully adjustable, but it's not, the Ohlins. And I've never once felt that I needed an electronic suspension. You dial it in and you're dialed in. I like it a little harsh anyway, so I don't need it to adjust on bumps. I'm fine. It's all about the engine. When that comes out with they got the double-sided on there too.
don't know at the moment yet.
That one I think is like 22. There's usually like a $3,000, $3.5 difference between the Panigale and the Street Fighter. If I remember, if back at least a couple years ago it was.
Well, seeing as how they just went up on the V4S, they went up 20 something, $2,700 more. I think. From 31,595 to 33.
I guess it's fair. It is a redesign. So, what was I gonna do?
You're going to break down the bike, right? But then kind of talk about the price difference between when. Do you remember how much? How much was your bike? 22.
Mine was 20 at the
20?
time. Yeah, I got a good deal.
Okay.
I got mine in 20. I got mine in 22. I got it in 23. It was a new 22, so I was able to get. I got a really good deal on it.
Okay. Where do you want me?
23,395 for the new V4 Street Fighter.
That's really not bad for a total redesign. It's not terrible.
And for the V4S, 29,295.
Is that the Street Fighter or the Panigale?
No, that's Street Fighter.
Yeah.
That's Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's a lot for the V4S.
And then obviously plus setup and freight, tax license, registration.
All right, so the Panigale and the Street Fighter, they're basically the same bike. The Panigale's just got a fairing. I mean, it's got a little bit more horsepower, but same engine. And now the new Street Fighter is going to have that same double-sided swing arm. So they're very comparable. You basically just have a full-blown sport bike, then a naked Street Fighter, kind of wrapped up with the same tech, basically, again, the same bikes. So again, this is the 25. This is the 24. You can see there's a real styling difference. It's been basically a total redesign between the 2 years.
But they come with the box with the seats.
And this one, because this is a 24, this is basically my bike with a fairing. So this is basically a sport bike variant of my Street Fighter.
Nice.
That was
Here, let's see
basically-
what we got.
That was basically all I was going to do
Really?
in here. Yeah, I was going to let
okay.
you do the. I don't know.
Here, we're gonna take a look here.
They're basically the same bike. The Panigale's just got a fairing. I mean, it's got a little bit more horsepower, but same engine. And now the new Street Fighter is going to have that same double-sided swing arm. So they're very comparable. You basically just have a full-blown sport bike, then a naked Street Fighter, kind of wrapped up with the same tech, basically, again, the same bikes. So again, this is the 25. This is the 24. You can see there's a real styling difference. It's been basically a total redesign between the 2 years. And this one, because this is a 24, this is basically
Audio's good.
my bike
Yeah, these
with a
mics
fairing.
work.
So this is basically a sport bike variant of my Street Fighter.
Cool.
All right, so the Panigale and the Street
Oh, you
Fighter
were
are
shooting that?
basically the same bike.
Yeah, I'm shooting right now. This is a behind the vlog.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh,
What's
okay.
happening here?
Right now, here, let's get my ugly mug in here. So right now we're going to go on a ride somewhere. I mean, I'm not riding. He's riding. I'm going to follow him. Where are we going?
Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna now shoot the vlog I'm gonna do with my bike. But I did want to come in here and just show the new double-sided swing arm while they've got it, because again, this is the only dealership I know of that actually has
Right.
this bike on the floor right now.
And they're having, what was he saying? They're having a
They're having, yeah, they're gonna debut this bike. I
the
believe, this
debut.
weekend. Yeah.
Thank you.
Will be
Couldn't think of what I wanted to say. The debut.
What they usually do is they invite, they'll go on Instagram and other social media. They'll invite, everyone down here, and you'll usually get a good crowd, and then they'll officially kind of show the bike.
which is odd because this video is coming out late, so I apologize. The bike's already out, guys. But hopefully you enjoy this. Let's keep moving on.
You mind if I just introduce you super quick?
No problem.
And
Give me a second. Yeah, Rick.
No, that's good stuff. Get that.
what?
Get him
Yeah.
talking on the phone. And then as soon as he gets off the phone,
11:50.
he's going to say,
Well, I don't know what he's saying. I don't know
5 years.
if he wants that on the.
just get on there anyway.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Bye. Sorry about that.
Not a problem. All right, guys, this is Kevin at Pro Italia. He manages the place. He's the one that sold me my Street Fighter. How's everything going? How's the year been so far?
Doing well. Bikes are selling, so it's a good thing.
Best dealership for Ducatis and MV Agusta in Southern California.
We got the Aprilias and the
You got the
Moto
Aprilias
Guzzis
too.
also.
You got this RSV4 right here. What year is that? A 21? I think it's a 21.
Yes.
Thanks for letting me shoot in here. I appreciate it.
No problem.
And I'm sure I'll be back.
We'll be here. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you.
Oh,
Both.
You know what? You know what I just realized?
What?
Because I got my mic on, we're not going to hear you. We're only hear me. I got to give you a mic. We got to do it one more time. I'm sorry. You're going to have to suffer one more time.
It's all right.
Hey, we're in Hollywood. You just basically just redo everything.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Doing this without a permit. Bad news is this Matt Laidlaw broke this. Just by the way,
Well-
I guarantee you wouldn't have broken it. So if you want to hold this with this hand because it's sort of hidden, just kind of like right about here.
No
Let's
problem.
clarify that.
And
A
then-
different mat, not this mat.
Not
That's behind this
one,
camera.
not this one. All right, guys, this is Kevin at Pro Italia. He manages the place. He's the one that sold me my Street Fighter. How you doing? I appreciate you letting me shoot in the place.
Doing well.
Bikes seem to be selling well this year.
They are doing very well this year.
And in my opinion, it's the best Ducati, Aprilia, MV Agusta dealership in all of Southern California. You also sell Royal Enfield, and you've got a good selection of those.
Yes.
And let's see, you got a RSV4 right here. I believe it's a 21. And a lot of bikes. If you're in the market for anything Italian or Royal Enfield, this is the place to come. They do not mark up. Prices are the best in Southern California, and you got the best selection as well. So I appreciate it, and I'm sure I'll be back.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
No problem.
Well, the mic still works, so that's good. Let's just take a look real quick.
Let's take a look.
Now we'll get out of your hair.
Oh yeah, I do. When I'm putting in my code for my phone, I blur it out real quick. I just get rid of it. Let's see.
Hi, Street Fighter. How you doing? I appreciate you letting me shoot in the place.
Doing well.
Bikes seem to be selling well this year.
They are doing very well.
Did it-
how may I help you?
Did it cut out in the first part?
No, it's just
Oh, I heard him say it was Street Fighter.
No, it's just the volume. You've got to tell it to turn the volume on.
Got a good selection of those.
Not a problem.
And so you got a RSV4 right here. I believe it's a 21. And a lot of bikes. If you're in the market for anything Italian or Royal
We'll
Enfield,
figure it out.
this is
It
the
should
place
be.
to
I
come. They
can't
do
tell
not
you if
mark
my
up.
driver's going to be here or not, but
Prices
we'll
are
get
the
it
best
over
in
there,
Southern
even if
California.
it's after
You
work
got
or
the best
something.
selection as well.
We'll take care of you.
So I appreciate it, and
No problem.
I'm sure I'll be back.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
All right, it's good.
Guys, this is Kevin at
See,
Pro
it's-
Italia. He manages the
volume's
place.
there, I
He's the
just-
one that
you gotta
sold me
play the
my
volume.
Street
Oh, I
Fighter.
gotcha.
How you doing? I appreciate you letting me shoot in the
All right.
All right, you ready to take a ride?
I think so. Yeah.
Let's go.
Thank you, sir, for your
Thank you.
time.
Hey, nice to
Appreciate it.
meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
You know, it's funny. I've been traveling internationally. So this was my phone, but I'm using an older SE now because I need to be able to put a local SIM in my phone. These are all eSIMs now.
Yep.
So it's been such a pain.
Ehi compare, ci vuoi suonare? Chi si suona un friscaletto? E come si suona un friscaletto? Un friscaletto e tipiti tipiti ta. Ehi compare, ci vuoi suonare? Chi si suona un saxofona? E come si suona un saxofona? Tu un saxofona, un friscalette tipiti ta. Ehi compare, ci vuoi suonare? Chi si suona un mandolino?
See if I can get this in the article.
Okay, right now Erik is getting some shots of his watch, and the main reason is because Erik noticed his watch, and this is one that you reviewed, right?
That's right.
This is one of the things we were going to talk about. So what do you do other than YouTube?
I write about watches. I work with a watch brand in Switzerland, and I also work with a watch publication out of the Netherlands. And coincidentally, I'm doing a big research project on the Daytona, which he happens to be wearing. So,
Look at
a
that.
fun coincidence. And fun fact, these were actually not popular until I think the 90s when they came out with the automatic variant.
Right.
That's when they, and I think it was from Zenith. It wasn't even their in-house movement yet. It was a Zenith automatic, and that's when these finally really started. Now they're like, you can't even get them. They're
Right.
so popular. So it's an interesting life cycle with these.
Well, what's kind of cool about this watch is this was a gift from my wife when we got married. So I've had this since 2000.
Okay.
And also there's a Daytona 200, which is a motorcycle race.
Right.
And the trophy is a Rolex Daytona.
Right.
So that's how it all became. You know, my wife knows I like motorcycles, and
Oh, there you go.
so
There you
everything
go.
else.
Yeah.
That is
And,
really cool.
Yeah, the 24-hour Daytona race. That's what kind of what.
Well,
where
they
got
have the
name.
Daytona 200 for the superbike race.
Right.
And so that's kind of where she knew I liked the Daytona because of the watch.
Right.
At the presentation, and for
Right.
for the race winner. So
Such a cool watch too,
Yep.
just in general. Do you know what it was called before it was called the Daytona?
no.
Cosmograph. And I think your dial still says it. Every Daytona also says Cosmograph. Does yours say it?
Yes, it
Somewhere?
does.
Yeah. A lot of these, for some reason, throughout half of their life, did not have Daytona on the dial, but it always has Cosmograph. So I found that interesting.
Yep.
And they named it the Cosmograph because of the Speedmaster, the moon watch, and they wanted to have something sort of space sounding, so they called it the Cosmograph.
Came to the right guy. He knows exactly.
It is the Daytona, though.
It
Even
is.
even the Cosmograph, the original Daytona, did not have Daytona on the dial, but it's still considered by Rolex the original Daytona.
Wow. I'm impressed, Erik. That's amazing, dude.
Cool bit of useless knowledge. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And we're adding that. Hey, who knows? Maybe there's a lot of watch connoisseurs out there, and they're gonna see this and they're gonna go, "Wow, yeah, I didn't even know that either." So,
Yeah. And and then of course Paul Newman's
Yeah.
and the Paul Newman dials. Until relatively recently, with collectors, everyone hated the Paul Newman dial. They were not selling, and now it's like if you find one, it's like you hit the jackpot.
That's anything that you can't get anymore. Always.
Right. And just the little things like the big red Daytona, where you had Daytona over the 6 subdial.
Yeah.
That was a little bit darker than usual. At the time, it was just a thing.
Yep.
No one even paid attention. They wanted the reference number. They didn't care if it was a little dark. But now all these little variances today, that's like the big collector's dream. So, interesting watch.
It's the one to have.
It is. It is. Yeah, I did the Explorer prior. That's a cool one too, but much simpler. But the big controversy, like the double-sided swing arm, is when they went two-tone with the Explorer.
Well, it gets noticed. Everybody likes it.
Right.
It's unique. There's no
It's
doubt
classy.
about that.
It's classy. Yeah. I mean, if it's that or the Speedmaster, it's gonna be that every
Yep.
time.
very cool.
Very cool. All right, man. Hey, I really
Hey,
appreciate
take it easy. No
I'll be
problem.
back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt.
Thanks again for your time. Appreciate
No
it.
problem.
All right. Dude, that was super cool.
That was cool, right?
Yeah, that was really cool. All right, so we're gonna.
Anything in here where I look stupid or something, you edit that shit out.
No, not at all. I'm not going to.
Don't be putting like bloopers and shit.
Yeah.
But then once you hit 60 miles an hour, it starts getting downforce.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you get on it, you're doing 180, your wheel's not going to come off the ground.
Dang. Okay, real quick for the traffic. How long were you been riding for? Just tell us.
I started riding in 1990. I got my first bike. It was an 89 Honda Hawk 650, which
Okay.
is sort of the Honda's equivalent of the early Ducati Monster,
Yeah.
which is what I wanted. But I had a deal to get the Hawk, and it was basically the same bike at the time. So that was my first bike. And then in 92, I got a Nighthawk 750, which is, you know, had a Harley vibe to it, just a old school naked bike. And so yeah, I've been riding for what? I've been riding on the street for 34 years. And but I got my first bike when I was 10. It was a Honda Trail 70 dirt bike, so I've really been riding for 40 years.
Wow.
I'm aging myself, but yes.
Jeez.
So I've been on a bike. I've been on two wheels for 40 years.
Wow, dude, that's incredible.
I'll give you a picture so you can put it on the screen.
Yeah, I'm going to. All right. Yeah, let's move on. We're going to Studio City,
Let's
and
do it.
let's go.
Le storie sono uguali, te lo dico. C'è sempre uno che se ne va da Roma a Porto Rico. Mi sento come l'ultima bottiglia che ho nel frigo, che non ricordo mai, 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 mai. Mi piace un minimo, mi aspetti a Mykonos, in ogni rendezvous, bugie si dicono, chi non è libero, chi non c'ha il fisico, stasera non mi importa più. Tu con chi fai l'amore? E perché sale come un ascensore quando vengo da te? Se fai così mi togli l'anima, che cosa stupida, tanto la cosa importante non è. Tu con chi fai l'amore? Stasera, domani, chissà. Tu con chi fai l'amore? Stasera, domani, chissà. A mezzanotte poi un salto nel blu, dove le luci si spengono già. Diceva dai, l'hai capito anche tu, mi sto innamorando. Non lo so, io per gli errori c'ho una mezza calamita. Chi prova le emozioni e chi le compra con la visa. Non mi mandare fuori appena inizia la partita, con te non gioco mai, 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 mai. Mi piace un minimo, mi aspetti a Mykonos, in ogni rendezvous, bugie si dicono, chi non è libero, chi non c'ha il fisico, stasera non mi importa più. Tu con chi fai l'amore? E perché sale come un ascensore quando vengo da te? Se fai così mi togli l'anima, che cosa stupida, tanto la cosa importante non è. Tu con chi fai l'amore? Non posso spegnere le luci dell'alba che sono dentro la stanza. Guarda che confusione, non c'è mai una ragione. No.
Okay, here we are. We're back in Studio City. We're here with Erik. He's going to do a quick little montage here of his bike, and then we're probably going to head up off of Barham and go to the Hollywood side. I know, cliche, but that's where I'm going to do my intro for this. So we're going to show that here pretty soon. But let's take a look at what he's got going on right now.
All right, what I'm shooting, I'm just kind of shooting the intro of what it's going to be.
Okay.
Hey guys, this is my 22 Ducati Street Fighter V4, and I'm not only going to review this bike, but I'm going to show the difference between this generation and now the new generation, the 2025, that is basically a complete redesign. And what they did was they're trying to bring the Street Fighter more in line with the Panigale. And one of the big things you're going to notice on the new one is it now has a double-sided swing arm, where you can see it's kind of one of the signature things about Ducati is this single-sided swing arm. That's gone now. So the new one's going to have, you know, a double-sided swing arm, which it's controversial. I think, you know, it's one of those things where it's function over form now. It's going to perform better. It's going to be a better bike overall, but it's, in my opinion, it's not going to look quite as good. I think this right here is just the best of Ducati. I don't know if they're ever going to have a bike that looks quite like this again, or the Panigale, the 24 and before. I just don't know if they're going to be able to match it anymore, because they're going for more of a, again, a function over form formula, which will be better for riding, but you know, I don't know. It's not like this was a bad performer. It's kind of the law of diminishing returns, but we'll see how it turns out.
Perfect.
There you go.
You know your bikes.
I'm going to do one more.
Okay.
Just a little bit of a continuation.
All right.
So I'm going to head down to Pro Italia where I got this bike. We're going to take a look at the new Panigale. Now it's not the Street Fighter, but it's very similar, and it will show you the double-sided swing arm that they got going. That will be exactly the same as what they're doing now with the new Street Fighter. I'm going to put a picture up of the Street Fighter so you can see that as well. Look at that. I'm such a pro. I'm such a pro.
I was going to say.
I'm such a pro.
So that's it essentially for today, other than our drone shot.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to cover it for today.
Here, let's
These are multi-day things, so it's not like I don't do a review in one day. It's usually like a 3-day process to get everything. But we got some good stuff today.
So when do you think that you're going to get this up?
This should be up in the next couple of weeks, I would think.
Couple weeks?
Couple weeks.
All right, so I'll definitely throw that up in the corner so you guys can see it at the end of my vlog here. We're not ending this yet. Real quick though, let me ask, so who else do you watch on YouTube?
Oh God,
because I love this question because it's always so random. And the thing is you know, you can get people watching this saying, "Oh my, yeah, I watch that same guy too." Or
right.
Yeah.
Well, there's this one channel. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It's called I think it's called Leave It to Baker.
Oh yeah,
that one's a good one. You might have heard of it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No, I like.
He's got no followers right now. Maybe 300 plus, but
no, it's like 300,000. I think it's at now.
Oh, it's gonna be theirs. Yeah.
I like.
I trust in that guy.
Fast Lane D is a fun motorcycle channel. IMK is a fun motorcycle channel. Motorcycle.com is a great one. Revzilla, when they're reviewing the bikes, he just reviewed a 100-year-old Harley. I think it was a Model J. That was a fun one. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Two Wheel Rocco is a good one.
All right.
There's a really good one, Cody B Pyrotechnics. Just all about fireworks. That's a really cool one. Let's Turn It Up World. That's a cool one about a couple that just travels in their camper. All over the world. Ones.
And the walking around ones are pretty big too.
What's that?
The walking around ones are pretty big now too.
Yeah.
People just walking around, you know, Tokyo or walking around,
totally.
You know, New York City.
Totally.
Yeah, people like that stuff.
The Time Teller is a really good one. Jory Goodman, he's a watch guy. That's a fun one. TST Industries, good parts. They don't sponsor me, but they should.
Let's do it, guys.
And that's about it. Yammy Noob, I don't know. Sometimes I watch Yammy Noob. He used to be better, but he's still good. Before he fired Spite, that's when the channel was better, but he's still good. Motorcyclist Magazine is a good one. Doug DeMuro.
Oh yeah.
Doug DeMuro.
Everybody watches Doug. You gotta watch Doug.
Oh yeah. Just got that Lamborghini Countach, the right one.
Oh yeah.
Long Island Watch, very good one if you're into watches. Cool guy.
Yeah, there's a friend of DDE. Now I'm going blank on his name, but he does watch reviews. He's a.
Is it Teddy something?
No. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. We were trying to brainstorm here what that guy's name is. I apologize. I can't remember his name, but he hangs out with DDE and he talks about watches and whatnot too.
Peterson Automotive Museum. Cool one.
Yeah.
Right down the street.
Yeah.
That's about it. Chase on Two Wheels is sometimes pretty cool. The Verge, if you're into tech. That's about it. I don't watch a ton. So that's...
that sounds like a ton.
I don't watch a ton of channels.
Dude, I could go on forever, all the channels I watch. A lot of it's research, but...
Right.
All right, guys. Hey, right now, we're doing story time. Welcome to story time. Okay, so Erik, like I had mentioned to you before, and I do for my viewers here, basically I tell a little story, kind of break the ice, something that may represent what we're doing on the vlog and maybe not. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but I'm going to tell you a story. So here's my silly story. So actually it's not a real silly story. It's one that probably saved my life. So for 10 years I rode a 1958 Vespa. It still runs. I commuted to work on that here in LA. One day I'm coming down Laurel Canyon. When it intersects, it becomes, what is the name of that road?
Ventura?
No, it becomes Crescent Heights. So you're coming down Laurel Canyon, and then it becomes Crescent Heights, and then you're right there at the corner. God, it's been a while since I've been here, but I want to say Sunset. It's Sunset.
Oh, okay.
Crescent Heights and Sunset. So there used to be right there on the corner, there's a bus stop, and there was a homeless guy who would sit there all the time. And every time I'd pull up at the light, he'd always go, "Hey, how you doing?" I go, "Hey, how you doing?" It was a small little conversation, you know, from time to time. And eventually, as he saw me every day, I would pull up and I would always say, "Hey, how you doing?" I can't even remember his name, but "Hey, how you doing? How's your day, man? Good to see you." And every time I'd pull up at that stoplight, and most of the time it was red, so every time I pull up at the stoplight, I'd have a chance to talk to him because he'd be sitting there on the park bench.
Is that the gas station? There's a gas station right behind it?
There's a gas station over, on your left side, and it's a restaurant on the corner, and they had like three different owners by now, or at least when I was commuting, it was, I think, 3 different owners. It was a hot club. So one day I pull up, lights red, I pull up, I'm like, "Hey man, how you doing?" He's like, good to see you." I'm like, "You too." And we just got to talking about something. Now normally, and maybe you would do this, as soon as the light turns green, you're gone, you're taken off. So normally I'd be sitting there, I'd say something or whatever, light turned green, "All right, have a good one," and I'd take off. Well, that day, light turned green, I was ready to take off, and he had said, "Hey, wait," and he asked me a quick question, and in that span of like 3 to 5 seconds, a car ran a red light and would have obliterated me, absolutely obliterated me. And if it weren't for that guy stopping to at least ask me one more question, I may not be here today doing this vlog.
So he paused. He kept you from going through
He
the green.
kept me from going, when I had a green light, he kept me from going because he had one question to ask me.
Wow.
And I would have been obliterated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with your story, but tell us your
I got
story.
one that I thought was cool, but I don't know. That kind of beats it.
Oh,
So,
no, okay.
I've been riding for 40 years. Been riding on the street for 34 years, and yes, I was 16, and I've never once gone down on a bike. I've never had an accident. I don't know how that. It's
Knocking
not like
on wood somewhere.
It's not like I ride slow.
Yep.
But the one time I did have a little accident. I was probably 12. And we had moved to a new condo, but they were building out in the center, so it was just like a big field. And they had dug a hole about 8 feet deep. It was basically like a grave.
Okay.
But they were going to do like a mini basement and for the foundation, and you can't see it when you're riding. So I'm on my little Honda Trail 70, and I'm going probably 30 miles an hour in the dirt.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I'm in a hole because I couldn't see it. What happened was the front tire hit the rim of the other end.
Oh,
and
jeez.
I went down. Didn't get hurt.
Oh,
Bike was a
man.
little screwed up, but I did get hurt, and scary as hell. But that's my one time.
Dang.
One time I went down on a bike.
That's crazy.
Other than just like playing in the dirt and going down a little bit, but
Right.
you know, like actual accident. Because
Crazy,
you ride
man.
dirt bikes, you're gonna go down. But.
Yeah. Well, and you're going to get into accidents no matter what. Well, you know, on the Vespa, I got into 2 little fender benders, but both of those were, significant to a
Did
point
you really?
where, they were. One was right up here. Another quick story. I was right up here. I was coming down Vineland, and the car in front of me was a BMW convertible. It was a rental. I only know that because we had to stop and talk about it. But I was behind him. Granted, yes, I was a little too close, but here I am with 1958 brakes, and as I'm going, all of a sudden, as we're pulling up, I'm behind him, and we pull up, and the light turns yellow, and what does he do? He stops at the yellow.
Right.
He literally stopped at the yellow and I knew, as a rider, my peripheral vision, I knew there was somebody right here, and I couldn't get over. And I just jammed on the brakes. You got 1 foot brake, you got 1 brake here, and I jammed on it, couldn't stop. Bam! Right into the back
like
of him.
drum brakes. They're not going to stop you.
No,
It's like what's
no.
on my Royal Enfield. It's not going to stop you.
Yeah, so that one messed me up a little bit. I had some shin problems for a while. Yeah, the face shield bent all the way in. I eventually had to have it bent back. That one messed me up. There was another one coming down that Crescent Heights, that same Laurel Canyon.
Okay.
If you know that it's busy traffic in the morning and it's just bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
Well, as a rider, you can ride on the driver's side
Right.
in the middle, and you can pass everybody in California. I think you can do that in Colorado now, but you can pass everybody slowly and cautiously, as I was.
Always
but
slowly and
but yes, but some lady was visiting from Florida, and she decided, you know what, I don't want to sit in this traffic anymore. And she cut a U-turn across a double yellow line,
Wow.
and I'm coming down and just bam, right into her driver door, right in the driver door.
Wow.
And she just looks at me, like we're this close. She just looks at me, she's like, sorry. I was
Same
like,
Vespa?
Same Vespa, yeah. But
Is
that
that
one
the one
didn't.
that I got when you drove up into the
Yep,
moving truck?
yeah, but that one wasn't as much damage. It was the one up here that really kind of
Right.
messed me up, yeah. Because I was doing top 41 miles an hour. We were moving pretty good.
all it takes.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, this is only the 4th time I've done this, but this is fun. I really appreciate you guys checking this out. I wanted to make sure I got the sun. Look at this. This is great. Hey, so we finished up here for the day. I had a great time with Erik from Cycling with Gasoline. I really appreciate him doing this with me. We're going to put the vlog that he shot, we're going to put it up here in the corner. My last behind the vlog, I'll put down here in the other corner. Thanks again for checking this out. Guys, remember, there are millions of content creators out there, and we're going to try to meet them all. Why not, right?
Why not?
Hey, thanks so much. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out. And guys, with that, remember, there are millions of content creators.
It's creator. It's creator.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for checking this out. What the hell is my problem?
I don't know.
Like the end of the
I don't know
day or
what's
something.
happening
All
here.
right, we're going to try that again. Here we go.